are you prepared for what's really coming after hoops? You know what I mean? And that's the part that a lot of young players don't understand.
Meet Carl English from Newfoundland to the world stage, a dominant professional scorer who battled basketball's elite, sharing the floor with LeBron, Kobe, and the Redeem Team. His journey shattered ceilings and redefined what was possible for Canadian basketball.
Who's the best player you played against?
Hands down, Kobe Bryant. So I crossed him up over on the side. You can bring the clip up on YouTube if you want.
I love this guy.
So, I played 10 years in the ACB. I was top scorer every year I played. I led the league in scoring.
Would you say at that point in time, your whole identity was just basketball?
That was it. That's who I was, but it was like there was nothing going to stop me.
If you could offer one piece of advice to athletes who are still playing, but no retirement is coming, what should they start doing to get themselves ready for that actual transition? Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of You Only Die Twice. I'm your host, Warren Ward, and in this episode, I'm joined by none other than Carl English, the Newfoundland kid. In this episode, you will hear Carl talk about his playing days against Kobe Bryant, playing against a dream team with LeBron. You'll also hear him talk about going undrafted and that story. You'll also hear Carl talk about his prolific career in Europe, leading the ACB in scoring for 10 consecutive seasons, which is no easy feat. That is literally the second best league in the world. He also dives into where he is now with his family life, and not knowing exactly what he wants to do, but having the option to do so based upon his playing days and setting himself up for success today. But before we get started, the best way to support this podcast is to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, share with a friend. Without further ado, let's get into it.
When this is gone, I die.
First and foremost,
Did you read the book?
I did.
Yeah?
Not
skim it.
No. I read 3/4 of
Okay.
it. Yeah. I got a full-time job, man. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I did, but we'll talk about the book today.
Yeah.
I wanted to discuss that. Like I said, this is not our normal setup, but
good.
I'm a big fan of yours.
Appreciate that.
Big fan of yours, man. I
Appreciate
remember
that.
growing up, hearing about this cold white boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, now that you're done, and I don't think, what we're discussing here has a shelf life in terms of time, age. I think you would talk about this at any point, and it's something that is important to me. You know, I didn't get to reach the same levels you did, but I aspired to.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we are joined at the hip, where
Definitely.
we have a lot of the same experiences, and I think it's good to pass that on to the next generation. So
Definitely.
it's important for me because I get to sit and talk to people like you, which we've never met before. So this is the first time we're actually speaking.
I feel like I know you because I know so many of your friends and so many people, and the basketball community is so small.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is important to me because I get to do that. I get to talk to people about where they are now, and after you're done playing, there's no applause anymore. There's no checks. There's none of that stuff. So that's why it's important to me. I'd love to understand, why it's important to you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, it's full circle moments. You know what I mean? And then when you start, and where I come from, I feel everybody has their story. Everybody has their hood. Everybody has their grind. I'm the type of person that I've never judged. I've never saw color. I've never, do you have any idea where I come from? Like, have you ever been to Newfoundland?
I've been to Newfoundland once. Yeah, man. We had a tournament out there.
Yeah. So I'm about 2 hours outside the city in a really small town, 20 people, little fishing village.
20 people in the town?
20 people in the town. No stoplights, no stop signs, really tiny. Right. When I say tiny, I'm talking tiny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you grow up in a place like that, you don't lock your doors. You leave your keys in your car. If your neighbor, you're someone in that town or the next town, we'll call them little towns because they're so small. Let's say you got a leak in your roof. Well, you figure that out and you do that yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you fix your things, you fix your home, you build, so, I mean, are we going way back, to how everything started for me?
No. I mean, why is the topic of athlete transition important to you?
Oh, athlete transition is, I think a lot of athletes just struggle when it's over, when you're out of the spotlight.
Right.
And it depends on the level, right? Like, there's different levels to it all. A lot of athletes are just trying to scrape it and figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're coming from college, did you get a degree?
Right.
You know what I mean? Are you going to use that degree?
Right.
A lot of times are you cursing on this show and stuff?
You can do whatever you want, brother, big dog.
This is the thing. So a lot of times you're bullshitting and stuff in college, and you're messing around, and you're getting a degree to get a degree, and you don't really understand.
Right.
You know what I mean? That there is a life after basketball. A lot of times you got people in your corner that don't know what the F is going on.
Right. You can swear. It's all good.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I coach a lot of kids too.
Right.
So like a lot of kids will watch this, so I try to, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So for me, again, just that type of thing, like teaching the transition to. I spoke to our guy. I know you know Junior Cadogan.
Oh yeah,
right?
I do. Of
I
course.
spoke to Junior last night for like an hour and a half. So
yeah.
like when I come to town, I try to connect with all the guys again, right?
Good, man.
But to me, the transition part is levels. So like if you scratch the surface and you went overseas and you're scratching to make $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
Well, what's that really going to do for you? Because you're trying to get to the real stage. You're trying to get to the real money, and that can prepare you for the rest of your life,
exactly.
right? And you're chasing that dream because you know it's out there.
Right.
And a lot of times it's situational. A lot of times it's your agent. A lot of times it's the league you chose and the different path you chose.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say it's a high 50 to 75% rate on a lot of luck and the right. It's not that you can't hoop. The level of the hooper is right there, but it's like the path and the way you took.
And it's the luck.
And
it's
sometimes
it's the timing,
It's
man.
the timing and the luck and the
Right.
situational. Like I've had crazy stories where it's like I'm talking hours of $1 million contracts. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like, so it's different where you're looking at certain things and are you prepared for what's really coming after hoops? You know what I mean? And that's the part that a lot of young players don't understand.
Right.
And now with the new landscape of the
NIL,
NCAA and NIL,
yeah.
are they really going to be prepared?
Well, I think it's actually worse, and I think Woj said
100%.
this because you're going to pay these kids a lot of money to play in school.
Yeah.
Then they're going to go to buttfuck nowhere and play in a small ass gym the same way we did.
And they have no clue.
And no clue. Yeah, you got a lot of money, but do you really love the game?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to have the
But you
same
never
sort of
grind it though.
right.
You know what I mean? So like you start, like typically college was, okay, you got your education, great. Everything was kind of covered to some extent.
Right.
Not like it is now.
No.
And then you go and, okay, well, now I'm going to try to make the league. And then, okay, where I'm going to end up in the G League and blah, blah, blah. And then you're trying to work till you get to that, where you feel your worth is. Well, now you're throwing crazy money at them.
Mm-hmm.
They're 18, 19 years old. Everybody's trying to get a piece of that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning family, friends. You're young and dumb, and you think this is going to continue.
Of course.
Right? And then I think a big part of it is, like, you have some real hoopers that probably make $1 million in the NCAA that won't make the league, and then they're going to go overseas, and they might be lucky if they get $100,000.
Yeah.
Because they got to prove themselves over there.
That's
Those
right.
guys don't give a fuck over there.
No, they don't.
So they got to prove themselves there on what they are. Like I've had NBA guys get cut first weeks that they're there. You know what I mean? Because they can't hang and understand the system of European, the IQ, and the way the ball is played. So, like, what are those guys going to do? And then what? I'm hearing horror stories about guys not paying taxes. Getting all the money and not paying taxes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going through this whole process now with my son, which is interesting. So he went on his first visit. We had a couple of visits a couple of weeks ago. He's here with us this weekend. So just going through.
Like, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
You're coaching your son's team.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah. So that's tough. If you do it right, that's tough.
Right.
You know what I mean? Javon was there. He came to watch him a few months ago when we were playing in one of these tournaments.
Nice.
And he was hooping, and he was like, what did he say? He said, "Oh yeah, you're like your typical." And then I saw you getting mad at him and stuff. So he was like talking shit to me and stuff about it. And I was like, "Listen, man, until you get there,
you don't know.
You don't know what you're talking about. You sit over there and watch your nephew and shut up." So anyway, it was just, it's a process. But I think that's the hardest part is adjusting. And then when that comes down, what are you falling back on?
Right.
A lot of people try to get into the coaching, and then that's all network.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That and then. Just because you played hoops don't mean you're a good coach.
Exactly.
Right?
That's
And then how
fact.
do you relate to the players?
That's right.
What's your niche? Can you bring that energy every day? Are you willing to do all the things that coaches are willing to do just to work their way up?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's another grind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I've had those opportunities now, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to do that grind again as it was as a player. Now, I think it'd be a bit different because I was just blackout mode as a player all the time. You know what I mean? Watching what I ate, didn't drink, didn't party, and just like immerse myself in the game my whole career, like it was just a regiment. And then like when it was over, I was like, whew, you know what I mean? Like I just stopped taking I just stopped everything. I was like, man, I ain't taking shit. I'm like, I'm done. Just leave me alone.
You know, that's a real good, like not segue, but I'm so curious, Carl. Like, so I worked out yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. When I work out,
Yeah.
I still work out like I have a game to play.
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing step ups.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to do that.
No.
You know, but like, do you work out the same way you used to?
Not a chance. Not even close. Because
there's no purpose to it anymore.
No, there's no purpose. And then I feel like I tried to get back at it. Like I don't even lift no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'll do it sometimes. I'll be in there and I find, to me, I watch what I eat and things like this, but I'm always active and moving and doing things. I don't just sit around. To me, I destroyed my body. So I had that dumb hockey mentality. Was not like Vince Carter. I had the opposite of that in the sense that I played through injury after injury for my team in Europe, and then they kick you to the curb.
Right.
You know, so I've had 11 surgeries.
Oh, I thought I was bad. I had 4.
Yeah. And I need 2. So both ankles need to be fused right now. Right, so when I was walking, like
I thought it was swag when you was walking in here. That's ankle surgery.
Yeah. I need 2 more now, but I don't want to do those.
Right.
So I'm trying alternative methods. I'm waiting for this stuff to come out, and I might go to LeBron's guy. And I'm just kidding.
Okay.
We're not going to get into that.
Yeah, let's not. We don't want to get canceled.
Yeah. I'm going to go. Germany's talking about cartilage replacement now on different things growing.
Yeah,
cartilage.
Of course.
So there's different things out there that I'm not your normal candidate for fusion because I'm too young. Right. So like there's so much arthritis and things, and that's my background, kinesiologist and stuff. So I know a lot about the body and things, but I'm just trying to, you know what I mean? Just true. So that's why I don't work. But then I love to get out there and fucking give it to the kids.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up. You know what I mean?
So
I can still shoot and do whatever.
Course.
But it's like, you know, but the regimen of working out, no, not a chance.
Okay.
Not a chance. Not even close.
Tell me and those who are watching who don't know you about the origins. Obviously, I read the book, so I know where you're from. But tell me about your upbringing. You know, you went through a crazy tragedy, you know, at a young age. So, you know, talk about that.
Yeah, that's how I started the book. So I got offered to do a book and a movie when I was in Hawaii, right? And I just felt I was so insecure as a kid at that time.
Why?
And just I didn't know who I was. You know, I had cornrows. Like I had no idea.
Stop, man.
No, I'm real. Like you.
You had a braid up?
Oh yeah. I did for like 2 weeks. They put the beeswax, everything in there to try to have it tight. I was bald headed. I did everything, just trying to. You know, it was different those times, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, I did not see. And to the day, like I don't see color. I just see people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I connect with people.
Right.
So, you know, I just did whatever. Right.
Yeah.
But
trying different things.
Trying everything, but no. For me, I think that defined me as a person.
Right.
But like when you're 5, like so I was 5.
What defined you as a person?
The loss of my parents.
How did they pass?
House fire. So there was house fire. Me and my brothers escaped. We got out. One brother jumped from the 2nd level. My oldest brother got us out.
How many brothers do you have?
4.
So it was you and 4 brothers that got out of the house?
5 of us got out. There's a lot went on there. So my mom didn't die. I didn't touch on it a lot, but she didn't die in the actual hospital. Kind of killed.
Oh, in the hospital?
Yeah, they kind of. So they actually put too much oxygen to her brain, and then they put the trachea in wrong, right? So that one, when I found that out, I was a lot older, and that was tough as well because you're reliving it again. So for me, that was the first thing, and then we all got separated. So we went I went to live with my mom's sister, so my aunt and uncle, and they had 4 kids. And then 2 other brothers went to live. 3 of them went to live with another, my mom's sister, and then my other brother went to town where you would have played with my other mom's sister. So we all kind of got separated from there.
Were you able to keep in touch with your brothers?
Yeah, well, we went to the same school. So like they were in a town that was like, you know, 4 or 5 minute car ride, but like we'd see each other on the bus and stuff.
So was most kids were living with their family?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
would see your family at school,
I
or
would
on the
see
bus.
them on school. So like even going back to hooping, at those ages, you would go, you go on the buses and things together, and you'd stay at billets houses. So like I'd always get to stay with my brother on the trips, and that would be the best part of it for me. Would be, wasn't everything else. It was just to get to spend the night with my brother. So I think I always say I was running away from that shit. So like I buried that at a young age. At that time in the late 80s, you don't speak to people. You don't talk to psychologists. You don't talk about your feelings. And to this day, I have never spoke to. You know what I mean? So I'm a very strong, independent in that sense. Not saying that type of thing is right or wrong. That's how I dealt with it. That's not how you dealt with it. That's not how I dealt with it. I dealt with it through hoops. When I found basketball, that was my free time. That was me. That was my escape. I could block everything else out, and I was just fucking clear. The issue is you're growing up on the Atlantic Ocean, crazy winds and snow, so there was no playground. So I built my own hoop. Right.
Yourself?
Yeah, me and my uncle.
Uncle Junior.
Uncle Junior was a carpenter and did, like I said to you back in those times, like you do all that stuff together, Yeah. So we built the hoop, put it on the road because that was the only bit of pavement and stuff that was there, and cars going back and forward. So like I said to you, and this is why I don't judge, like just because you're not Jane, everybody has their own hood.
Yeah, I know, right?
Everybody has their own story. Has their own challenges.
You don't got to be from there to be a good hooper, though. You don't got to be from any of those places.
I should have never got the fuck out of there. Like that's the part that people don't understand. Like you have no idea. Like I don't know how I got out of there. Right. Because people played hockey. Newfoundland's a hockey sport, but like we used to hitchhike. When I say hitchhike, do you know what hitchhiking is?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, but we did that everywhere we went.
Right.
So like to get somewhere, but like a lot of people knew of you, right? So it wasn't like, okay, you're gonna get kidnapped. Right, like you're just
you could have, but you was taking the risk to go home. That's right.
You roll the dice, but like if we're going to the beach for the day, we're hitchhiking there. If we're going to go hooping out in where the school is, after practice in the school, we'd hitchhike home.
Oh, you have to walk.
Oh yeah, it was a hell of a walk.
Right.
You know what
There's
I mean?
no Ubers back then.
There was no, you know what I mean? So those type of things. So I was doing shit that I don't know what I'd be if I had the internet. Right. So I could grow up where I grew up, give me the internet, and I'm a savage.
Right.
But I'm doing shit that I'm like, why are you doing? Like my ankles are so bad because I wore these 10-pound ankle weights everywhere I go. Like 500 calf raises on the bathtub. Like Javon says he could fly, like I could fly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's
you was worried. Air Alert. You remember Air Alert?
Yeah. So like we're doing all this stuff, but like you remember the jump soles?
Of course.
Yeah, I made mine. So like I cut up old shoes. Like true story, I cut up old shoes. I glued them together, and then I taped them around my foot. And then, like, I'm wondering why my ankles are fucked. Like, you know what I mean? And I just bound up, and I was, like, doing shit that I never read because we had no internet.
Right.
So, like, you're doing things that, like, I'm like, why would I? You know what I mean?
Well, you know why. You're doing it because you want to make it.
Well, yeah, but, like the kind of stuff when I look back on it, I'm like, why, right? Like, you know what I mean? And if I had any type of knowledge or the technology that these kids, I'm fine if you're on your phone, right? But use the phone as a tool, as a weapon.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Better your life.
For your mind, for your body, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so I think the tragedy of losing my parents just allowed me, like, it just blocked out everything else, and I buried that to deal with that so badly that I just focused so much on basketball. Like, I would play 7-8 hours a day. Wow. By myself. You know what I mean? Like I'm not joking. Like just all day, like every day. And then when so then I played Newfoundland basketball 2 times. I got cut in grade 8. Right? When I was, you know what I mean? I don't know what politics that happens everywhere.
Hey man, been there.
You know what I mean? So then the next year I played a couple of those kids that made the team, and I like put 65 on them like in a hurry.
There you go.
You know, and then that next year I played and I got an all-star when I was in. That was on the Atlantic, so it wasn't nationals then. And I think I want to say that was in PEI. And then I played Canada Games when I was in grade 10 or grade 11, but that's when they had the university kids when it was U19. So that was my only 2 experiences. And then the year I wanted to go away, so because I played, they sent something out in the mail. And do you remember Andre Sola?
Yeah.
Andre played at Orange, right over here, St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah. He's from this area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
man. Shout out Sola.
Yeah. So they sent a flyer in the mail, right? And Andre, it was showcasing Andre because he was going to George Washington.
Okay.
Right. So I was like, I'm going to this school. Right.
Cool.
So I was like, I'm going to this school
Because he was going to.
because Andre went to St. Thomas Aquinas.
You're right.
I'm going to St. Thomas Aquinas.
Okay.
So I went to St. Thomas Aquinas my grade 12 year, not knowing anybody. My aunt called. I stayed with my aunt that raised me. Her son was up here working.
Okay.
So I stayed with them right over here on Trafalgar.
Okay.
And I went to that school, not knowing anybody, not knowing anything. I just, boom, gone. Right. So I fished that summer. So I didn't play Newfoundland basketball. I fished that summer to save money to go to Ontario.
What a story, man.
So now that's when it takes me there, and that's the journey there because I'm up here now where I want to be.
Right.
But the teachers go on strike. All right. So I'm up here to get recruited. So I go and.
Did you have any offers prior to that?
No one know who I was.
No one know who you were?
No. Not
you were doing jump soles, building your own,
doing,
8 hours a day out there,
Yeah.
and nobody knew who you were.
But I was, like, out there, I was averaging 60 plus. I'm real talk. You know what I mean?
I believe you.
If we played a good team, I'd have 60, 70. If we played an okay team, I'd have 50, 60. Right? So it was just, but I was a lanky guard, and, the way the style we played, and just nobody saw that type of style in a while. So then when I came to Ontario, so like, you're a new kid on the block, and a couple of guys try to, right off the bat, I'm like, let's go I'm there, and you had to wear the suit, everything, like the Catholic school.
Yeah, the school uniform.
So I'm there in the Doc Martens. I'm like, let's go. Right, so straight to the thing. So best kid in the school, get him there, bust his ass. I'm like, all right.
In Doc Martens?
In Doc Martens, it didn't matter. So there was a playground right across the street. So now the hype was building, and then there was a kid, PJ Kerr. I don't know if you know PJ Kerr.
No idea.
This is way before you. So how old are you?
35.
Yeah, so I'm 44.
Okay.
So this is before you. So so we be hooping. But
you in the OG status. I'm in the UNC status. Yeah.
So we would go to, what's the college up there? Just up in Oakville. Not Durham, no. Sheridan.
Okay,
Sheridan.
yeah.
Hooping to Sheridan every day after school. So all the older guys were there, and I'd be just killing those cats, right? Like windmilling them down the lane. They're like, who is this guy? So we're just getting games. So then I go and I played in the North American Invitational, just randomly with Westwood.
How'd you get that?
Just from a guy. So the strength coach at this school knew a guy, Vanzio, that put me in touch there through Wayne Dawkins. Wayne.
Yeah, of course.
So then we go play with Westwood.
See, now some of that is like luck, relationships, timing. And if you didn't fish in the summer to come here and then go to that time and then someone saw you.
But it's so easy to quit. So I come up here. And I'm here to hoop, and the teachers are on strike, and I can't hoop. I'm not here for Matt Finite. You know what that shit is, right? Like, so all these, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm coming from a school of 200 people from kindergarten to 12, and there's 3,000 people in the school, grade 10, 11, 12.
Was that like a big culture shock for you?
Hell yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm very thick on where I come from, like in my, my Newfoundland roots.
And your accent.
And my accent was strong.
Yeah, it's still a little bit strong. I can hear it.
No, it's like if I'm there, you'd hear it.
Yeah.
Like I'm educated now. You know what I mean? So like those type of things, right? So like, you can turn it on and off. But like I'm there and I'm like, where am I? Right? And
did you feel lost?
Hell yeah. Try like again. Now I'm here and I'm like, okay. So it's just like I'm just picking and I'm going. So if this is the pad, I'm over here.
So what keeps you going in that time? Your goal.
I think
basketball.
It goes back. Yeah, I think it goes back to like I'm trying to prove everybody wrong. Everybody's telling me I can't do this. You know what I mean? And I'm just
because it's hard.
It's hard. It's not easy. Like,
would you say at that point in time your whole identity was just basketball?
That was it. You know what I mean? Like that's who I was, but it was like there was nothing going to stop me, right? So I was at Westwood. I go out and IMG is there.
Okay.
All these big
prep
like,
school.
So they set up this one turn. There was a couple of tournaments. So there was that. Anyway, Westwood were there and they got me on that team. So I'm the only white guy, right? Boom, right off the hop. So I go in there, 32 first game, right?
Jeez.
nobody passed me the ball second game. Because I just joined a team on a Friday to play, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm taking the shine. They had a guy, I want to say Dwayne was going to Duquesne.
Okay.
Right? So they had some hoopers. But who was this guy?
Right.
You know what I mean? So
right.
then I would just get the rebound, go down and score. Well, they weren't passing me. I'm not going to pass. So I could rebound. So I get the ball, and I still average 20-something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So then I'm at St. Thomas Aquinas, and I get my buddy to videotape me. Just out there doing all this dumb shit.
On like a camcorder camera.
Yeah, so I can send it to schools. So then at the end of the video, I put on my game in Newfoundland where I had 65. Right? And they had like a video room, you know? So I went to Staples and I got 100 videotapes. And you could do 6 at a time. So I copied all the video, that little highlight clip and that game, and I sent it to 120 schools. So I have so the other day when we moved, like I moved a couple of years ago, and I found this box, and it had all the resumes of the schools that I had written out, and like I had all their addresses, and then I did a resume for myself, and it was like dunk champion in like 2009 or 1997, and my GPA and these type of things, like any type of accolades, and it was pretty sorry at the time, but it was what it was. So, and I sent that to all these schools.
It's pretty dope.
So
man.
now I'm getting all this mail, right? I'm getting Chestas out. I'm getting some mails and letters, and they're wanting to come watch me, but I'm not playing, so there's nowhere for them to see me.
The school, yeah.
Right. So then we go. I played with who'd I say? Wayne. I played with Wayne with Adidas Prep Stars.
Okay.
So this was when AAU was starting.
Okay.
Right. So this
How old
team,
are you? Like maybe 16, 17?
No, I'm 17 then. I'm
okay.
grade 12. But this team was probably one of the best teams that was ever assembled in Canada. Like, I'm no joke. We had 3 Russians on there. You remember Ben Easy played in the NBA?
No.
Yeah, so Ben Easy. There was another guy played at Louisville, another one. I got careful what I say. All came true Russian. It came a certain way to get here.
But I'll be honest, so every generation says that this is the best team to play in Canada.
No, I'm real. I don't.
I'm not doubting you.
No, I'll be real when I see. Like, I know the talent that's here now.
Okay.
I know, and I watch it and I see it. And there's some really good ones.
Okay, that's a good question then.
Yeah.
Do you think the new kids who believe that Jordan and all these guys that played back in the day are not as good as the ones that are now?
They're crazy. It's just a different level. Right? Like, LeBron's done some crazy things in his career and different things in it, but like when you go back to that level and that physicality and the things that they were doing and the handshake, like, I get it. They're young.
They're young. You don't understand.
But it's the same in Europe. There's leagues. So the ACB
of course,
is
in
up
Spain.
and down.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
But you go to France.
You
more
go
athletic.
To Greece.
Yeah.
Scorers averaging 65.
But everyone getting beaten up.
Fighting you.
That's
so
right. You go to Lithuania, same
changes,
thing. That's right.
So it's levels, and it's the same. Like when you look at the kids now and the rules now to protect the game where they weren't there. You know what I mean? Like, I can tell you Kobe stories that are just crazy.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean? But anyway, like so the levels are different. I'm not saying they're better, but it's also the different upbringing and
it's the style of play in that era.
Style of play in that era.
If you give Allen Houston, Ray Allen, those guys, bro, you got Klay Thompson shooting 6 threes in a quarter. You give those guys were shooting 4 threes in a game.
If I came 20 years later,
you'd average 90,
buddy. Like, it's crazy. like you said, shooting.
10
threes in a game would be unheard of.
I feel like that
some
now.
Teams were only shooting 15 back then as a team.
Exactly.
Guys shooting 43s. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I would.
Yeah, and that's what you did, right?
Yeah, because I averaged, like, my percentages were 40-50.
Right.
Like a
shooting
shooter.
4 3 3, maybe 3 4 threes a game.
Like 6 would be max.
Now you can do that in a quarter.
You do.
Come on,
changes,
man. I know,
man. It's different. So, like, when you look at the times and the generations, it's totally different. But that team, everybody went high D1.
Right. But anyone who watches is going to say that we're just old.
I get all that. That's fine. But just go back and check the history.
Right.
You know what I mean? And again, it goes in levels. And I'm not here to you look at my career and you look at where I've played and what I've done, I'll put that with anybody.
Right.
NBA anywhere.
Yeah,
there's guys coming up now, they're real deal. But if you sit on the bench in the NBA, okay, you're great. You played in the NBA. You didn't play. You know what I mean? So there's different levels to it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to shoot down anybody's career like it's a dogfight to get to wherever you got to.
Exactly.
And, you know, the people that came before us paved the way.
Absolutely. And they deserve respect for that.
They do. Like I've
respect.
always given the respect to the young and the new generation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there and say one guy's better. And it's just different levels, right?
Yeah.
But that was a legit team. Like you're beating IMG in these teams. Like,
right.
You know, with that team. So we traveled with them, and I went down to I didn't have much till late June, July. But like back then, if you didn't sign, like there was no scholarships. So Syracuse saw me at that North American Invitational in Toronto, and they wanted to put me in a prep school. So Bernie Fine was the old way. He recruited a lot of guys out of Toronto. They wanted to put me in a prep school. So that was my plan. I was going to a prep school in Pennsylvania. I actually visited that.
Mm-hmm.
When I went there, the reason they were late with the paperwork. So because they were late with the paperwork, I went to a camp in Atlantic Cape camps. It was outside of New Jersey. So we all loaded up the fucking cube van and we head to the camps. And I didn't get invited to ABC or Nike.
Okay.
Nobody knew.
Yeah, well, that's a big camp,
right? Yeah, but I was good enough to be there.
I believe you.
You know, but I never got to play.
Right.
I just came up here and I never got to play. And then people were getting around because I'd go for these games and like, who is this guy? And then, you know, you're getting on the rankings and different things. But I went to the Atlantic Cape camps and I was made it to All-Star game. I was MVP of the camp.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody came from Nike and Adidas to watch me in the All-Star game at a final week of the camp. And I had shit ton of offers then after that.
Where?
Notre Dame, Davidson, Bradley, Syracuse were still in the fold. Then comes Hawaii and these different teams.
Why'd you pick Hawaii?
I wasn't supposed to pick Hawaii. So the reason I would have went to that prep school, but they didn't have the paperwork. Right. So they got the paperwork on a Friday, the morning before I was supposed to leave for Hawaii. So I went to Hawaii just to visit Hawaii. Like I'm coming from dirt. So I'm like, I'm going to Hawaii.
Right.
Like I'm just going there as a visit.
Right.
So like I've never really been, like before I went and moved up here, I was off the island like 2 times.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, so then like I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm going to Hawaii. And then when you get there and the glamour and the glitz and you think that's real life, you know, I signed when I was there. So, but that's the part that I don't like. That's why I think I was just trying to bury something, because I went from the most northeastern point of Canada,
with 20 people,
North America,
right?
Like Newfoundland is the most, you know what I mean, to the most western point of North America. You know what I mean? There's no further place I could have went.
Isn't that ironic?
It is. So then, like you get there, and you know you think you make the right decisions, and you just roll with it. But for me, like all that led up to that, and then I finally got the scholarship.
Right.
So like I'm like, okay, but this doesn't mean shit. Like now I'm keep going, right? But then I didn't know what keep going was. Like I was just there to hoop. Like there was no part of me thought I was going to play and attempt or go try to get to the NBA.
Oh, at that time you weren't.
Not a chance. No, it wasn't even a vision.
So then what were you?
The whole vision was to get to D1 at that time. Right,
and then after that, it was done.
Well, then when I got there, then my first year I redshirted because I had ankle surgery. So my ankle was just dead. So it'd be like popping out of place on the way to practice, and like it was like they used to tape it, double tape with that brown tough tape, and then I put on the air cast as well. So I was like, let's just get it fixed. So we got it fixed, and then I came back my next year. So that was a great year. That's why I'd recommend my son to do that as well. Like that redshirt year. Like you just learn life. Like you learn time management, you learn the whole adjustment, you learn the college life, you learn practice, getting to know it. So they put it off till I got to play in a couple of games. They put it off till December. I said, yeah, I'll do it if you let me go home. So I got to go home, and then I went home for Christmas, and then I came back. I had to cast off full reconstructive on at that time. Got that off, and I mean, when you're young at 18, like I was dunking 2 days later. I was like, damn, like it's just crazy, right? So there wasn't such thing as the rehabilitation like of the later years when I had surgery. Right. You know what I mean? So, but then I go back into my freshman year, and it was a tough year because the coach still wasn't messing with me. Right? So we're going through the whole process, and I'm killing in practice, right? Like killing, right? Like to the point like where the juniors and seniors were going to him and like, you got to play this guy if you want to win. And then a couple of guys went down. There was about 10 to 12 games left in the season, and I was getting minutes then. So then we start winning, but we went into the WAC tournament as a 7th or 8th seed, so we just barely got in, and I blew up in the tournament. So I averaged 17 or 16 and 8 assists and 6 rebounds, and in the championship game we upset Tulsa, who were number 1 in Tulsa, and I had 32 in the finals and in overtime. Hit the shot to go to overtime, and then scored like 8 points on overtime or something.
And won the game.
And we won the game.
That was your big coming up party.
Well, then everything changed.
Right. You talked about that in the book.
Yeah, everything changed. Like
What changed?
Changed. Everyone knew. Like everything changed. Like all of a sudden now, people wanting to buy me food, and boosters know who I am. And
how'd that make you feel?
Well, the change. Like it's like, okay, I'm here. Right, but I was never the type of guy that my head blew. I was like, I'm supposed to be here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now I'm like, okay, well, now I just keep working. Right? So then I come back for my sophomore year, and that's when I really blew up. Right? But then people said I should have entered the draft after that year, but like I said, it wasn't even a vision.
Why?
I was just fixated on just trying to figure this shit out. You know, trying to figure out college, trying to win games, you know what I mean? Just immersed in that. And then it wasn't until my junior year when they start putting me on draft boards, I was like, huh? You know, because I was still trying to graduate. You know, so I studied sports management. Okay. So I got a minor in kinesiology, business marketing, management, communications. So that was kind of a cool program. But again, like I was saying back before, when you're doing the transition, what are you doing to understand what comes next, right? Like, don't just... My first year, man, they had me in a class called Rainbow Advantage. I'm not going to tell you.
Yo, stop.
Right? Like, I'm not joking with you. Because I wrote my SATs in, like, grade 10 out of a book that they send in the mail. And I passed it, but I only had, like, maybe 1,000 or 980 or something, you know?
Carl,
but I was like, I passed it. Man. No, I'm serious. Like
Rainbow Advantage. There's a lot of people today who are taking that class.
Coloring, like it's no joke. And I went to the academic advisor. I'm like, man, I'm trying to get a degree here, and they were just trying to keep me eligible.
Right.
And he was like, well, you know, we'll see after your first semester. And in my first semester, I get a 4.0, so I don't have to go to study hall or nothing like this.
Oh, okay.
So I end up being an academic All-American, third team. So
beautiful.
For me, it was just like, you know, this is what we talk about transition. Like these kids, and even talking to my son now, like he just doesn't get it.
Right.
Like they just think I'm just gonna play basketball. I'm like, it's not that easy.
But basketball ends for everybody. But
it ends at some point.
He's not going to understand that now because
they won't understand it.
He's in it, and I didn't. No one could tell me that when I was the same age. I think I'm going to do it forever.
You can try to tell, and that's the young generation as well.
Yeah,
you can try to tell them. Like he looks at me like I don't have a clue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I'm there, like, but then, like, he was away last year at Orangeville, and he'd have his teammates call me, and I'd help them get through, like, you know, dealing with a tough time, like, kind of mentorship. But I'm like, someone call me and let me tell him what's right or wrong.
Right.
And he hears some stuff, but I think most kids and most people, you got to be kicked in the face to figure out what's happening. You know, you got to fail, get back up, and figure it out on your own. Even though I'm telling you this is going to happen. No, it's not happening to me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Everyone thinks they're the exception.
Right? Everyone does. And that's human. And you got to love that confidence.
Of course.
I get it. I got to love that confidence.
And what we do here, what I like to do is that's okay to believe that.
Yeah,
I did.
100%.
When I was 18 and 16, even younger, people would, like you that played professionally or whatever would come to us and say, I remember I went to 5-star. Went to 5-star twice. I won MVP of 5-star my last time I went. And they had, I forget his name, but all the people, was it Garfinkel, I think his name was? He came in there and told everybody, he's like, one of you might make the NBA for 2 years, maybe. There's like 500 of us sitting down there, and everybody was like, that ain't gonna be me.
Yeah.
You don't think the rules apply to you. So what we're doing is we're saying that's okay to believe that.
100%.
But there's consequences to that.
But you also gotta have a plan.
And you gotta be able to adapt your plan to whatever situation you are in life.
But then you kind of got to have the confidence. Like they were talking about it yesterday, a couple of the kids there, and they're talking about school, and they're like, well, what are you going to do? And he was like, I'm going to be a hooper. So, like, if you true-heartedly believe that's what it's going to, I get it. And that's great. You know what I mean? But then there's a process of doing that as well.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And then that's where I come in, because I can tell you the process, and I can tell you what's right and wrong. And then, you know, like Steve would come into camp, Nash, and he'd be there, and like his regiment was like, holy fuck. You know what I mean? Like a whole different level, from the bone broth soup and you know what I mean? And I'm just like, okay.
My sister would love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, there's levels. Like, everybody doesn't understand, and that's the part. There's levels to it all.
Absolutely.
So, like, back to what I was saying about Hawaii. So, like, I didn't realize it till that junior year, but then I was also balling. So I was like winning a Wooden Award watch candidate and all these things. So then it's just human nature. Then it starts building and going.
Did your expectations continue to rise during that time as well?
Well, hold on. Everyone,
you start thinking about NBA now.
Well, now you're thinking, because they got you on draft boards. Right? So I'm like.
Which you didn't ask for.
I did not.
You just played your way to it.
I just tried to hoop and let the game speak for itself.
That's amazing, man. From 200 people and hitchhiking and building your own jump soles to being on a draft board.
Yeah, it's different, right? It was different. There's two problems with me and what my whole story was. I was too trustworthy, and a lot of that was from growing up in a town where you knew everybody, and I just believed the good in everybody.
Right.
Not the case.
Right. Well,
right.
We know that.
Very naive as a person, because I always tried to see the good and not understanding that, you know, that's not real life.
Well, that's not business.
That's not business, and nothing in life is free.
No.
And I didn't understand that till, you know, shit really hit the fan.
Yeah. So they weren't teaching you that in Rainbow
Advantage.
Rainbow
baby.
Advantage. That wasn't part of the dictation there.
They were not teaching me that. And
Rainbow.
Oh, man.
That's the name of this episode. Rainbow
Advantage. Let's not go do that. So like, as I'm going through the junior year, like it was tension between me and the coach. It's different times. When I got to the school, they're at a salary. When I'm leaving the school, you're at this salary.
Right.
And you had 30 wins each season, and you made the tournament 2 out of 3 years, which you've only made it once or twice in your whole career.
And a lot of that's due to you.
And my teammates.
Right.
You know, but at that time, boys, like, we had nothing. Like we couldn't get the Pell Grants. Remember the Pell Grants that the Americans could get in college? So they could get stipends like $1,500 every year.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Canadians couldn't get that.
No, we had work study.
Yeah, we're living off $100 a month.
Yeah,
right. That was left over from your thing, and I had no help from home. So like, you know, times are tough, right? Like, you're trying to save up for those new Jordans coming out. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel you.
So like I used to break into the Stan Sheriff Center, because there'd be a dial tone for the media room to get out so I could call my family. You weren't allowed to use the phones. So like, people talk about the NCAA and all the shit that's going on now. Like, as athletes back then, like, you literally were not allowed to do anything.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Going into my junior year, I wanted to graduate because this was my 4th year. So I graduated as a junior.
Yeah.
I didn't have a laptop, so I had to convince the coach. The assistant didn't want me to take it home. The head coach was like, let him take it home, because I took 2 courses in the summertime. Like, I was doing credit after credit. Like, I was taking 18, 19 credits a semester. 18, I want to say. Every semester after the Rainbow Advantage semester. So, like, I had to kind of catch up. So, like, I was taking those classes so I could graduate early.
Right.
As a junior. Like, this was my plan. And then, like, I didn't have a laptop. So I had to take the school's laptop to do my courses when I got home. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So when you're talking about the money that these kids, like, I would have left college
a millionaire.
Boy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and everybody says that, but like, just look at my numbers. Like, I'm not going to say every old hooper now is saying, the numbers don't lie, just like the video don't lie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So whenever someone's bullshitting, just watch the tape. You know what I'm saying? So like, when you're there, so that was my whole thing. So then when I was going to enter the draft, but the coach, like, we were going to have a hell of a team the next year, my senior year. And he probably could have went on a run. So let's just say he really wanted me to come back, and the messaging probably wasn't correct in what was out there, because I was anywhere, the highest I was 15, the lowest I was 37. You know what I mean?
On draft boards?
On draft boards.
Did you enter the draft?
I entered the draft.
And?
So I did 12 workouts, killed these workouts. Like, I'm going at Dwayne Wade and these guys into workouts. Like, again, being a fucking idiot. I'll curse on that time. Fucking idiot. Not knowing or no one to guide me. Why would I enter the draft with LeBron James and all these guys, man? Like, think about it. It's the strongest draft, they say, ever.
In 2003, right?
Yeah. When I could have went back for my senior year. Like, if I had any type of guidance, like, just go back to school. Don't take no class. Go work on your master's.
Did you have an agent?
I had a clown. You call him that.
He probably took Rainbow Advantage too then, for sure.
Again, loyalty. A guy was helping me up here, and I went with that agency that just started, and I was the first basketball guy. But they were a hockey agency, Eric Lindros.
Okay.
Remember Eric Lindros?
Of course.
Yeah. So that was his client on the hockey side. And I went with those guys and went undrafted, like turned down Nash's agent Duffy, turned down, like, you know what I mean? Like, and at that time, like, when you're looking back on hindsight, like, I played well in Portsmouth. I played well in Chicago. Like,
you went to all those?
I went to, like, I got invited to Chicago. I didn't go to Portsmouth. I got invited to Chicago. Like, I was legit. So I was on the boards.
Do you have any regret from any of that?
Huh? Are you being serious?
Regret
is a strong word.
Yeah, exactly. You can't live with regret, right?
If I could change it, hell yeah. Like, let's be honest. Like, guys are, I have no regret. Come on, man. Yeah. Be real.
You would make different decisions.
Hell yeah. But even if I had guidance, like, all the stuff now is in place for guys not to fail.
Exactly.
I failed at every fucking thing I did.
And still was successful.
And tried to make it.
Yeah.
But, like, even if I had, like, now you can call the NBA and they'll tell you from the 30 executives of where you rank.
Right.
And then you can roll the dice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Couldn't do that back then.
No. Now you can go back to college. They're taking cats from the G League.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So anyway, I was coming down, we was training up in Orangeville because one of my brothers was living up there. My brother Peter was up in Orangeville working, and we were training out at a place Jesse just built, Jesse Tippett at the Tippings. So we were training up there, and I did 13 workouts in 17 days. So I was just going boom, 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 boom. So the way the rules were back then, if I went back to college, I had to pay back those trips.
Oh, wow.
That was the NCAA rule. I did not have a dime to my name. So it was probably $100,000, $150,000 more. Because you're flying first class everywhere you go. They're putting you up like it's all NBA workouts. I'm going city to city, boom, boom, boom. Everything's taken care of. So that adds up fast, right? So I did not have that money to pay that back to go back to school.
Right.
So we decided to enter the draft and go all in because I already graduated.
Right.
So then they also had a brilliant plan of let's go to the Indian motorcycle downtown, and all my family flew up. They went and got me a suit, which will be funny. I don't know if you read that. So they got me this suit, and anyway, we're in the draft room. McGlure is there. Everybody's kind of there, right? Every team, like, I was big. Like, I'm pretty marketable back in the day, right? Like, so without being an ass, like, I'm humble, but, you know, if I'm being real, like, I was pretty marketable, right? Like, I had about $5 million with endorsements, Rayton, Air Canada, General Mills, all the big ones, right?
Talk your shit, man. Yeah.
No, but I'm being real.
Yeah, no, please.
If I got drafted. These weren't.
Oh, okay. I thought
No.
Before the draft.
This is what makes the story.
Okay.
So these were contingencies,
right?
So they're all lined up. Canadian companies, hop on the white guy, next Nash, blah, 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 all this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? So they were all lined up, right?
Life-changing money.
Hell yeah. Right? Different back then. So we're going through the draft. So then you go down through it, boom, boom, boom. So every pick, cameras. Like, imagine we're in this room. Indian motorcycle downtown's not big. I don't know if it's still there.
Don't know.
So it was downtown. So it's a little bit bigger than this, but, like, I'm talking 30 crews there.
All cameras.
All across the country.
Yeah.
Cameras, light come on, that big bike, come on right away, big bright light coming on you. And I'm there, like, you're sweating. I'm there, all my family's there, and then you're going pick after pick after pick. You know what I mean? So then we get in the second round. So it's coming to my time. Like, there's teams there, and then, like, teams that I should have took that I didn't. Like, I didn't go back to Cleveland, who had the 31st, because I went to Atlanta because they had 2 picks in the first round. They had 37. So different strategic. Then they took Capono, and then the shooter, Kyle Corver, right? Like, he was in my class. kill Corver. You know, I don't want to sit here and be bitter, but he had Iverson's agent. He goes to Philly with Iverson. Like, it's the process of it, right? So then we keep going down through it, and then getting like late 30s, and my phone's ringing, you know, and then like I'm picking it up, and it's GM's. I'm like, man, I don't care where I go. Like I said, I'm sitting here, and I'm like, I'm feeling like a fucking idiot. Like, I'll go wherever, and they're like, no, we got no picks left. I'm like, well, why are you calling me? They're like, well, your agent's phone is not on. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? And my brothers are rough, right? They took this dude in the bath. He's lucky he got out of there alive. Like, I'm no joke. So his phone was dead. So they're calling me, asking me will I come to summer league and stuff, right? So anyway, long story, we go all the picks, cameras on, go undrafted. Then I got to do interviews after, you know, the most devastating moment of my life at this point, right? And I'm just like, you know, trying to be professional, like trying to be that guy, trying to be right, everything, and just like trying not to break down and cry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's everything you work for. And then I'm just thinking, I had a year of college left. You know, so now like right at that moment, I'm thinking like, what have I done?
Yeah.
You know, so for me, it was like, let's get back to work. You know, so I was literally in the gym. So the best part is the suit story. So I go to get in the car with the agents and my girlfriend is my wife now, and my suit ripped from belly button to ass crack. Right, to sum up the day, like as I got into the car and I stepped and I looked at this, like I was gonna choke this guy. I was like, you know, what kind of suit did you go and buy me? So I'm like, I just look up. I remember just looking up like this and say, like, you know,
yeah, it's been a day.
Can it get any worse?
It's been a day.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's a great story.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, yeah, unfortunately. It's a great story. But like people hear my story and they don't believe it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, it's in the book, so you can't.
Yeah, but it's in the process of a movie.
Okay.
So there's like when we're talking to executives and like, people just don't believe it. Like seriously, they're like, is this fact or fiction?
I was going to ask you that too about that.
Right. So anyway, we regroup, and I was just, and now I got this massive chip on my shoulder, right? Because guys, like I just feel now I was totally shunned,
yeah,
and I made a huge mistake of not going back to college. So now I'm just on a straight mission, right? So I stopped being nice, you know what I mean? Like, hey sir, how you doing? Like, no, fuck that, let's go. So I just like we lined up these mini camps. I go to Indiana. And I'm at the mini camp, and I'm just busting dudes.
Right.
Ron Artest comes in. They put Ron on me. He bitched me a couple of times, but I'm still giving it to him.
Right.
Talking shit to him, going at him, and they signed me right after.
Okay.
Right, so I'm there, and I'm like, and Donnie Walsh was there at the time, and he's like, you were my pick. They picked James Jones at 49.
Yo, your memory's real good, huh, man? Your memory.
You lived it. You remember it.
I know.
Like these are life-changing days.
Right.
So Donnie looked at me and said, you were my pick. But he said the day his granddaughter got hit by a car, he wasn't in the war room. So he was not there, and they picked James, which obviously had a great career.
Wow.
So I was like, Donnie, with all due respect, I said, I'm going to Atlanta, then I'm going to Minnesota. I said, I'll come back here if you sign me. I was like, forget my agent. I was like, you sign me, I'm back here. And 3 days later, I had a contract with them. And I had partial guarantees in my first year, partial guarantee, and more money in my second year, right? So for me, that was, you know, so then I went back there. Now, and then when I start training with them all summer, Isaiah was the guy, right? So Isaiah really liked me, right? Saw me as a combo guard, blah, blah, blah. Things were up and up.
Right.
Berg got the job, and he brought in Carlisle. Got rid of Isaiah, brought in Rick Carlisle, and he brought in his guys. So we went from having 13 to 17 guaranteed contracts. Mm-hmm. Then it goes down to money. But like it was crazy because Jamison Brewer was supposed to leave. They were getting rid of him. I think he had $4 million. You're talking about my guarantee at that time. It's only $400. So like it goes. They signed Jermaine to the.
So they signed you for $400,000.
At that time, yeah.
Right.
So they. So Jermaine signed the max deal.
Of course.
So now you're over the luxury tax and stuff. So all this stuff is coming into play. So they weren't even letting Jamison practice at the time. Like they were like, you go try to practice. Like, no, go sit on the side. So I was getting all the reps and things. And about 3 days left in camp, I just stopped. Like, they start using Jameson. Then, like, we're playing Chicago in Philadelphia. I was an asshole, too. They were playing Chicago in Philadelphia, and we were playing Chicago in Indiana, and Carla puts me in with a minute to go in the game, draws up a play, like, real arrogant, draws up a play, like, see if you can make this one, shooter. Like, yeah, type thing. And I go in, bang one, steal the ball, bang another, walk by. That enough? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, just thinking, like, why would I, you know what I mean? But again, I had that chip that I'm trying to prove that I'm good enough to be here type thing. But they end up cutting me then and kept Jameson because he's $4 million equaled 8, my 400 equal 800,000. So it was luxury tax type thing. Right. And then I went to the MBDL at the time with 6 teams. Yeah, so I spent a couple of years there. I'll tell you one story. There's just too many stories. But my second year there with Dennis Johnson, remember the late, great DJ? I was supposed to go to Orlando.
How old were you at this time?
I'm 22, 23 maybe. So I'm supposed to go to Orlando, literally call me. You ready? How you feeling? Sign me for the rest of the season. Agents on the way to meet me in Orlando. New agents at this time now. Those old guys were long gone. Right. Meeting me there. So packing up all my stuff. They're like, yeah, we're going into practice. All the details coming. Boom. They go into practice, and Otis Thorpe blew out his knee. Big man. And they called and said, no, we're going to sign your teammate. Because they signed Hiram. They needed a big man because he went down. I told my agent, I was like, fuck this, let's head overseas. This is a roller coaster, let's go.
Where'd you first go?
First year was in Italy, in Virtus Bologna.
Terrible place to go play basketball, right?
Terrible place to go. I thought it was at the time. Cultural shock.
Of course.
Like every North American player that goes over there, everything is shit. Food is shit, people are shit. Like, you know what I mean? You're just not. That's the biggest problem when guys go overseas. It's not Canada, it's not America. The cultural shock. They can't.
That was my dream, so I was ready for that one.
Yeah. So I went, played well up and down season, but played real well. Still have NBA teams lurking, watching. My second year, I go to Croatia and Zadar. Drazen Petrovic's brother was my coach.
Sick.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Crazy culture, crazy basketball. They played in the Adriatic League, which at that time was really strong. Yeah. All EuroLeague teams and stuff. I led that in scoring, was the MVP.
Oh, wow. Did you win the title?
We won the title in Croatia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we lost in the semis or finals of the Adriatic League.
So up until this point, right? You're playing. You have crazy stories, which is dope. Which is dope. But where most people like myself, like when I was growing up, Carl, I wanted to, like, my goal was to take care of my family. That was even though they never asked me to do that. I was like, man, I want to make millions of dollars. I just want to go overseas. I want to play in the EuroLeague. I want to be rich, playing basketball, retire at 30 something, and have enough money to live a good life after that. Yeah. You didn't necessarily have that. Yeah. What was your motivation to go and do all this?
Well, then it becomes, I'm still trying. My first couple of years there, I was still trying to get back to the NBA.
Right, of course.
Right, so that was the goal. And then, like, scouts would be there and come and watching, and, you're hooping, but the pathway wasn't like it is now. Yeah. Because that wasn't a normal thing.
But most kids, like, they're dreaming about doing that for their parents.
Yeah. I was just enjoying the basketball part. Like, I was playing basketball. Now it becomes, like, so I'm making really good money there now, like the teams that I played for, without getting into that. But so then then I go to Spain my third year. But like in between all this, I'm playing Team Canada. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're doing different things. Like summertime, we're playing against the Dream Team, Kobe and stuff. And I'm doing my thing, but it's still the offers weren't coming. And then my first year in Spain, I really blew up. ACB. Yeah. So I played 10 years in the ACB, right? I was top scorer every year I played. I led the league in scoring.
For 10 years?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, like, that's the part people don't understand.
It's the second best league in the world.
Second best league in the world.
To this day.
Yeah. So, like, so then there was my second year, my third year I went to Victoria, but I was in summer league with the Raptors. Okay. So I'll tell you a Raptor story. A lot of Raptor content here.
Go ahead, man.
I'm guessing. So I'm in training camp and I'm tearing that shit up. There was a guy there by the name of Jamario Moon.
Of course, yeah, I know Jamario. Dunk champ, man.
Yeah, dunk champ.
Yeah.
So every dead ball, go for water break, he jumps from the free throw line or does some fucking crazy ass dunk.
Right.
All 17 people on the sideline. Every time. Right? Now, mean to say, like, they sent my agent to stats after day 2, and I was like 22 for 27. Like, I'm torching this. They're like, well, it's between him and this other guy, Jamario Moon. Right? And again, they wanted me to be combo guard. And again, I'm an asshole. Mitchell, Sam.
Yeah.
Like, so I know all the guys that are on the staff.
Yeah.
Because they'd be involved with Team Canada and stuff.
Right.
So like everybody knows I'm coming in for the tryout. And media's getting the attention and stuff because I'm a big name in Canada. And they should have drafted me, the fuckers. At 56, they drafted this guy from Van Winkle from Europe somewhere. Like, get the hell out of here, man. Like, come on. Right? Like, all the interviews that when we did, he's not good enough. They cooked Bosch, obviously.
Of course.
And then, like, 56, you can't take me. Like, come on, man. I'll go to schools. I'll spread the good word. You know what I mean? Like, so, to me, it's so anyway, so I go in there, and Mitchell's like, oh, you're the shooter. And, you know, Sam got the chip on his shoulder. He's like, let's shoot. I'm like, you sure you want to shoot? He's like, so this is the day before the camp. I went in early. And I'm there in flip-flops, right? I'm like, Coach, you don't want to shoot with me, right?
Right.
He's there now, you're talking all this shit, blah, 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 let's shoot. So I'm bust him, right?
In flip-flops.
In flip-flops, right? Go around the thing. He's like, see if you can bring it tomorrow. He gets all pissed. Like, see if you can bring it tomorrow. I'm like, all right. So, like, you know what I mean? But, again, being me, I'm just like, let's go. Any chance I'm going to go, we're going to go.
Yeah, they don't know about Doc Martin, Carl.
They don't know about Cornrow Carl. They don't know.
They don't know about Rainbow Advantage, Carl. They don't know about that, man.
Yeah, so anyway, we go there. I have a great training camp, but it's between, like, Jamario, crazy athlete.
Insane.
You know what I mean? And real good guy.
Yeah.
Played him again a few years, long time later in Puerto Rico.
Right.
But yeah, great guy in that sense. But like that was his thing. So yeah, I'm a scorer, but like I mean, taking off.
No.
And every time from the free throw line, and everybody over there, like I mean, they were like getting hype. And I called my agent. And I said that I was like, no, he can't hoop, but he can jump from. You know, like he's literally jumping from the free three-point line. So I was like, you know, it's between me and him. And then anyway, they end up going with him and gave him partial guarantees. Because I'm at the point in my career where I'm taking a pay cut to go to the league, right?
Interesting.
So I'm like.
And a lot of people would understand that.
They don't understand that. That's why we're not going to get into that. But they don't understand that.
And you're getting paid in euros too,
I'm getting paid, clean. So to me, it's like. At this point, it's got to be right for me and my family because now I got a family.
Okay.
Right. So my son was born in Spain.
Right.
My daughter was born in Spain, and my third daughter was born here in Canada.
Right.
So now it becomes a point where as soon as the season's over there, May, June, like I'm the guy they're going after.
Right.
Right. NBA is not coming after me or thinking about me until September, late August, September.
And you got to go back to duty.
Well, I'm like. Am I turning down this to go to a non-guarantee? So I'm like, I'll do the Raptor
and
thing.
You probably sit on the bench, like
right, which I was okay with.
Yeah, of course,
because I felt I could work my way.
Right.
I felt I could work my way in if I just had the chance.
Right.
Because I'm playing these guys in the summertime, and I'm like, I'm doing my thing. Right. And that's the dream team. That's the main guys. I'm not even talking about the guys that I would play against. You know what I mean? So. You're there and you're doing this, and it's like, what are we doing here, right? So like that was decisions you had to make. So it's like, okay, all the top teams in Europe are going after you. Are you going to take that gamble? And then if I get cut, this is what people don't understand. If I get cut in November when they make the cuts,
you're screwed.
Where am I going?
Right. Yeah.
Russia.
No,
right? Ukraine.
All
the main teams are gone,
and they're packed with
and then so I'd be sitting at home waiting for an injury.
Yeah,
the money is going to be half because now I need you don't need me.
Right.
Type thing.
Yeah,
so
I get it.
So now it becomes strategic, right? So like A, you're taking a pay cut. B, situational, and now I got 2 small kids. There's certain countries I'm just not going to.
You're right.
You get what I'm saying?
Of course.
So that's what became into it. Now, in real talk. That's my biggest regret. Not when I was tearing that up over there, not going back and trying the NBA. That's my only regret. That would be the one.
What's a feeling you can't get back from basketball that you wish you could feel again, man?
Well, bringing 20,000 people to their, right?
Yeah.
Bringing 20,000 people to their feet night after night is a crazy feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I was crazy. Like I was that talk that shit type guy. Like I'm going like when we played in Greece, there were like, so have you ever played in Greece?
I've never played in Greece, no.
So Greece is a crazy country. Like opposing fans can't come to your gym. They'll get beat up. So it's only your home fans are allowed, right? So two stories. We went on the road, and I was getting ready to come home. I had a clause in my contract that I could come home and renegotiate. Like when I went to that league, I had a good resume, so I kind of negotiate whatever I wanted. So when I went there, we were going on the road, so we go in, and our fans come, 400 of them beat up the cops, get in there. So then they come out with tear gas. We go outside, they tear gas, get those guys out of there. They come out riot the whole way around the gym, and we played the game. And I'm like, let's fucking go, right? Like some people are like scared. I go out and have 38, but a loud 38. Like every 38, like I'm talking shit to the fan. The guy jumps over and tries to get at me and everything.
A fan.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? So like that's the type of way I played with that fire, right? So then we're on the road.
That's incredible.
And I'd have security with me on the road, and they'd be like, "This is one arena you can't talk shit in," right? So like anyway, get going, bang a few threes. I'm like, shh, getting them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And lo, I see this thing coming like this. And it was a bottle of piss. After pissing in the bottle, they were throwing bottles of piss at me. So the security coming out, covering me, and they're like, "No talk English, no talk, no talk." So they're carrying me like this to calm it all down and clean it up, right? So like they're the type of moments that like people don't understand. You know what I mean? And you got to be a different breed to relish that
and enjoy that.
And enjoy the
I love
fuck
playing
out of
Europe,
that.
man.
Yeah.
That's I wish I could have just gone and played longer.
Yeah.
That's all, man. I
so
loved
those,
it, man.
but like that's where. So I've played in all. You know what I mean? Like
at all levels.
Yeah.
What are you most proud of?
Ooh, my family would be the first one, but basketball wise, man, I've done some things. I mean, I really enjoyed playing for Team Canada.
Of course. Would you say that's your biggest accomplishment? As a basketball player?
Coming from where I came from?
Yes.
I mean, I've had the pride. I think the pride for me of playing for my country has been instilled through hockey.
Yes.
And then also because I played in Spain, and those guys, it was everything to play for your country.
Everything.
It's not like that here.
No.
You know, it's getting better.
Yeah.
It's not. It
No.
was not and is not.
No.
Right? And even the boys, like some of the guys you had on here, those guys, when guys would come in, they come in to play to get a contract. Mm-hmm. I always had my contract. Mm-hmm. I played and risked losing my contract because if you get hurt, that contract's void.
Null and void. That's
so
right.
like guys were coming in to play for Team Canada to get some tape, and then that'd get them into a deal, right? Wasn't the case with me. So I really enjoyed playing for my country and proud of doing that.
Absolutely. You're wearing a Canada shirt right now.
I am.
Who's the best player you played against?
Mm-hmm. Hands down, Kobe Bryant.
Tell me a Kobe story nobody knows.
They might have heard this one, but he was a motherfucker. So he had to guard the best player on the other team.
Right.
So he face guarded me for 94 feet. And in my ear, didn't speak. In my ear was like a train. If I ran faster, he'd go the whole time for 30 minutes. I'd hit his arm off. He put on like a train.
Why?
Just trying to get in your head, man. All those stories people hear, the psychological stuff that he did, like he was crazy, right? And then that moment shook the shit out of me, because they're big moments, right? Like they're big moments because it's him, LeBron, like it's everybody, right? And then I'm thinking like, if I go and do work here,
oh, you're good.
I'm good.
Right.
So is everybody else on my team. Like, you're all thinking the same.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
So you put so much pressure on that game because you're waiting and you're just waiting for your moment. You know what I'm saying? You're waiting for your moment. So the first time I played, I got caught up in the moment. Then we played him the second year.
Yeah.
And I walked onto the court and I said, every point I score, I want a pair of shoes. Right? Start talking shit right from the jump.
What'd he say?
He's like, yeah, fuck you. You know what I mean? Just talk, like, you know what I mean? Like, just like, you know, who is this guy? Blah, blah, blah type shit.
Is it true what they say about him not, like, no wasted motion?
Yeah.
Just a tactician.
Yeah. Everything. Like, so I crossed him up over on the side. You can bring the clip up on YouTube if you want.
I love this guy,
so
man.
I had him on the side,
right.
and I gave him jabbed him hard, got him off, crossed the fuck out of him. The place went, ooh, right? Missed the shot.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, but we can.
It's on tape. Don't worry.
We can edit it if you want, but missed the shot. But the place did the, you know, when I crossed him, did the ooh.
Right.
Literally, the next play ripped me at half. Trapped him, got him on the back end. He did a fadeaway. I was right there to block it, and literally he just kept hanging, and I went, and he hit it.
Right.
Then the third one, me and Jesse Young trapped him at half. He stepped through the half, just inside half. He stepped through it and hit it, like all sequence right after the cross, right? And it was like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? But like, I hit, like I had 15 or 18 in that game.
Yeah, you got yours.
That game I was more ready to play. And we were going at it. Like,
right.
even the announcer was saying, he ain't, like, you know, English is going at Kobe.
You
blah,
weren't,
blah, blah.
yeah,
We
you
were
weren't
going at
backing
it.
down.
I was not. And that's exactly what he said. But, like, for me, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I can do this against these guys, and I can't fucking sit on the bench somewhere. And, you know what I mean?
League, yeah.
So it's a lot of it is timing. A lot of it is, you know, situational opportunities.
Luck.
And, yeah, and just keep persevering and just keep trying to get through it.
And that's what you did, man.
Yeah, that's what I did.
When did you go from chasing a dream, because that's the title of your book, to living the dream? In your mind.
There was 2 titles for that book. It was Did I Make It? But it had a negative connotation.
Which was?
Assuming, like, I'm trying, like, my thing, the question is, because I didn't make the NBA,
right.
was my career successful?
Was it?
For me, yeah.
Absolutely. How could it not be?
But a lot of people don't vouch that way. Because a lot of people don't know the European stuff. They don't understand the true story of the basketball side of it.
There's been less than 4,000 people to ever touch an NBA floor.
Yes, right?
So
like, but that's what I'm saying, when a lot of people just, it's NBA or bust, and they think. So that was the original title of it, and then we changed
NBA or
it.
bust?
No, Did I Make It? It was a question to the people, did I make it, right? So.
Did you make it?
I feel it's been a hell of a career.
Does my opinion matter to you at all?
Sure it does.
You made it, man.
I appreciate that.
You made it, man.
Thank you.
You made it.
I appreciate that. For me, it's once I stopped worrying about making the NBA is when I really start having success. I start buying into the culture.
Yeah.
I start buying into where I was playing. You know what I mean? The things around me, my teammates, you know, not, you know, why is this shit? Why is that? No, I relished everything that was around me, and that's when I felt I started having really success over there.
Small kitchens and all that type of stuff over there. I remember when I got to France, I had a little stove. I had to light a match to put the
I didn't have it like that, but,
yeah, man.
But putting something as simple as putting a dryer in my contract.
Yeah, no, man.
Like, people don't
fresh
get it.
sheets. Fresh sheets.
I would put everything in my contract.
Yeah, you know who taught me that? Rock.
Yeah.
Rock is the one who told me. He's
That's
like,
Rock
Warren.
who taught him. So it's different, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying. Now, fortunately, I played in great countries and
Yeah.
I played in great leagues, so it wasn't as bad as that. But like, there'd be times like I would hold out if my money wasn't there.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like, in
Which is the thing overseas.
In Croatia, my first, like, we were playing Partizan, and I got caught up in the civil war between Croatia and Serbia.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm the team. Right? I'm like, no, I'm not playing, man. You owe me $30,000. Like, I'm not playing. Like,
right.
This is, you know, you got to pay me my month or I'm not playing.
Right.
And we're there, and then they came to me and they're crying, like, you have to play. We'll get your money, blah, 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 blah. I was like, all right, I'll play. But anyway, I went and we won, and I had 36 against Partizan. I didn't buy a meal for the rest of the year. You know what I mean? Like, I was instantaneous legend. You know what I mean? Right then. because of the civil, like it was so much more that I was getting involved in that it really had nothing to do with me. I'm here to hoop.
Yeah, no, basketball is such a big thing over there.
So they're so passionate about it, and you know what I mean? And they're passionate about their colors and their teams. And,
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
We just don't have that pride in what we,
No.
You know what I mean? Like essentially every team there in every city is the Raptors or the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The way people
care about those two teams.
Yeah.
That's right. Or
like,
even the Blue Jays. The way
people hopped on the
whole
bandwagon.
country, yeah.
Yeah, the way you know what I mean. The whole country got behind,
over
but
there.
that's every team over there.
That's right.
In these real leagues,
That's right.
Like
and
every
same
team.
thing in soccer in England.
Same. So it's
thing.
the soccer mentality.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
like they used to light flares when I get hot.
Jumping up and down in the stands,
lighting
all
the
game.
flares.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You returned home. You played back home in Newfoundland towards the end of your career.
Yeah.
You talked about this in your book.
Yeah.
You said that it wasn't just a return to basketball, but it was about, it was about a little bit of like your loss, the sense of belonging, and essentially like, I guess, reconciling your past.
Yeah.
What did you mean by all that?
Well, I was training to go back to Europe, right? So I was in Olympiacos.
Okay.
And they were getting ready to sign. Another crazy story. So Olympiacos,
Of course.
EuroLeague championship. So I went over there to get in shape. So they brought me in. They needed practice players because guys were at the national team, and they were intrigued by me always. So my agent set it up, and they covered everything. And I was just there training to get in shape for whatever came next. This was towards the end.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
Okay.
Right. So I get there, and they get to see who I truly am. Right. So they want to sign me. So we had a game. We're playing a EuroLeague team. It's preseason, and they were like, "Yeah, we want to sign you." Blah blah. Great contract, like good money. So I'm like, "Okay, well, let's deal with it after the game." So in the game, I don't know if you remember Kim Tilly, played with France, white guy,
Kim Tilly,
American but French passport, 6'10". Anyway, he blew out his knee.
In that game,
right? And then like, I could have went in and took care of this before the game, right? Literally, I was like, no, we'll do it. Let's focus on the game. Like, let's focus on the game. We'll take care of this shit today.
The contract, you mean?
Contract.
Yeah.
So then everything changed. After that game, I was like, okay, well, yeah, I understand. Like, I'm at this point in my career where like nothing could really faze me now because I've seen so much shit, right?
Right.
So I was like, okay, yeah, I get it, but I was like, I'm not going to stay around now and keep helping you guys. I'm going to go back home. And I'll just wait. So I was using them as well to get in shape, So people saw me in some preseason games.
Yeah.
So then like kind of what guys were doing with the national team back in the day.
Yeah.
So I was using that. So then I came back home, but here's the edge, right? And I'm like, professional team in my town, like what the hell's going on here, right? This type thing. So a bunch of guys were over on the other side, Superman, Alex, these guys,
course,
a lot of guys,
Yeah.
they know of me, but they
Yeah.
don't know me.
They don't know your game.
Yeah, they don't know me. So I'm training on one side, and they're trying to sign me. And, it's different, right? This is not the league this is not what I've,
built your whole career around.
No.
Yeah, not even close.
Not a fraction. Not anything.
Not a level of competition, not the
nothing,
fandom, nothing.
Right? So, but it was here in Newfoundland.
And it was home.
Right? It was home, and my kids did not want to leave. Right? And the year before, I was in Alba Berlin by Alba Berlin.
Yeah, of
so
course.
I played on that team.
Henrik Rhoda was my coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was there, and they were home. It's tough Newfoundland winters with 3 small kids. And, I'm away, I'm missing them, so it was difficult. So I was like, we'll go back overseas as a family. But they were, after now a year and a half of settling roots, friends, school, and I just felt I had to make a decision that was based on that. My brother also had kidney failure, needed a transplant. So there was a lot going on where I was. So I was like, let's just fucking do it and see.
Right.
So
legend at home, though, man.
So I signed there, and they're after having like 400, 500 ticket sales, right? So then within a few days, it was 3,000, and it went. So then we go on the road for the first few. So I signed late. They were playing. I signed on a Wednesday. We went for our first. We went on the road, and we're playing there, and it's a bit of a buzz. So. True story. We're playing. I'm not playing well against the PEI team, right? I don't even know the name of who they were, the PEI team.
I don't remember the name, but
so we're
I
there, and then we're down, and I hit a couple of threes towards the late, and we tie it, and then they score. We're down 2, so we call a timeout. So again, nobody really knows who I am, and we come to the bench, and the coach is drawing up a play. I'm like, no. And he looks at me. I'm like, no. I'm like, give me a screen right there. I said, I'm going to come off and hit a 3 right here. I was like, just run this play. And the boys are looking at me. Alex and them kind of know who, like, obviously watch me and stuff. And the Americans are like, who the fuck is this guy? You know, same old shit. So I walk out onto the court. You know, it's a different league. You played in? Yeah, different league.
Yeah.
True hoopers.
Yeah.
But they got baggage.
Yeah.
Tough fuckers.
Right.
Right, in a sense, can go, but they got some type of baggage with them of why they didn't play at a higher level.
Right.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So I'm walking out, the guy on the other team banging his chest. I looked at him and the referee. I told him what I was going to do, and I went and I hit the shot.
Right.
Right. So I was like, I'm going to come right here, coming off that screen right there. I'm banging that 3, and I'm walking down the floor with my hand up. He's like, fuck you, da, 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 da. Right. All the fans on the front row heard it. And then I did it, obviously. And then the ref's like, he called it. it. So, like, that goes viral, right? So, like, a lot of people are hearing this, like, you know what I mean? And I only finished with 13 or 16 points, right? This was the first game. Then we go into Halifax, and 38, like, banging, getting going. Then we had another one, and buzz is krilling, right? So now all of a sudden the buzz is building. We go back home, and it's sold out with 6,500 people.
Yeah, that's
right?
when the league was popping.
That's what it was popping, right? So it's like, come home, like, you know what I mean? I'm coming out, I shouldn't say it now, but coming out to Diddy. He's coming home, right? So that they playing this song about tell the world, blah, 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 blah. So, like, you know, and then I'm going out to the court, and there's some more Toronto guys there, so we're playing, and they're like, who is this guy? Like, who are you, Kobe or something? And I'm like, you about to find out, like, really fast.
White Mamba.
Right? So we go, like, I had 18 the first quarter.
Oh,
but like
shit.
a loud 18,
right?
Like used all my energy, and then just like collapsed.
You're down
And then I came back and finished with just under 30, and had a good 4 quarter. But like it was a loud, like it's like dumb shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But you're at the end of your career. You don't care, man.
You know,
you're
and then
having
at
fun.
home, then we follow it up the next night, almost getting a scrap, right? But I'm banging 3s, like had 30 something, and we win, and the fans just relished it and got after
that's
it.
dope,
so
man.
then it was cool. So then everybody kind of knew fast that who I was.
All that competition, Carl. How do you fill that space now?
You don't. You try to. You just got to accept your stages. You take the wins and losses of what's going on. I coach, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? I coach. It's a different level of what I'm working with there on the island, and from the levels that I'm used to.
Of course.
You know, I think I could scratch that itch if it was a higher level of competition that I was training and working out with.
Do you want to?
Some days.
Yeah. You've never really worked a job outside of the fishing job since then, right?
No.
Right.
No. I have a basketball school there now.
Okay.
So I built a gym there, 2 courts, nice spot. But that's a struggle business-wise, trying to keep, like any recreation business in the day, it's empty if your main client is kids because they're on school.
That's right.
So so I do a bit of that stuff. Well, that's what I do now, running that, and then I coach a few teams there and try to help the young youth in our area, and trying to take them to areas like this to what I call real basketball.
Right.
Right? Like, you know what I mean? People don't get it. You know, they don't understand that, you know, this is the Mecca, and, you know, on the island, we just don't have those levels of what we're going to see here, right? Yeah. So if kids are good, I try to send them away and get them opportunities and, you know, take them, basically send them here, right? And then I'm on the journey with my son, which has taken up the majority of my time, just trying to guide him. And we went on a couple of visits a few weeks ago.
You said,
So those type of things, and just trying to navigate through that. But there's obviously an empty place there, and you know, with hoops for sure. Yeah. You know, and I don't know if coaching or training or mentoring. Like I try to help I help anybody that calls me, man. Like I've helped a lot of kids go overseas. I've helped a lot of kids on the paths of where to go. Don't just chase the money, chase the situation. Because that will lead to the money in the end. So, you know, I can navigate a lot of people on that network of where that at, or put them with the right agents and different things. So I try to do that for a lot of guys.
What's something that you hope your son gets to experience that you never did, and what's something that you hope he never has to experience?
Loss is the thing. Eventually he will lose me and his mom, but I hope he doesn't have to deal with that until he's ready. That would be the first thing. I mean, throwing that, like that didn't hit me till I was 16 and 17. I questioned, I doubted, I wished it was me, not them. I was in a dark place of, anytime things went wrong, you're just questioning, you're blaming, because you're empty, right? Like, you know what I mean? Not only I got separated from my brothers, but you lose your parents, and, you're trying to find yourself as a teenager. So at 5 years old, I didn't know that. But at 17 and 18, you're like, you're empty, right? So that I hope he never has to experience until he's ready. Experience, I hope he can get to a fraction of the levels that I got to, so he can experience what it's like to play in front of these crowds and be part of these teams and the brotherhood of the players like that you play with. Like I think you can't replace those.
No.
You know what I mean? And unless you were in those moments or part of those teams that won championships and sacrificed for the greater good of the team, you can't teach that shit, man. You can't teach that in a class. You got to live it, and that's why I question a lot of these trainers. I question a lot of people. Like, you're training out of a book or a YouTube video. You never lived this shit. Why are you jabbing left and going right? You have no clue. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to put down people.
No, it's not about that.
I watched some of it, and I'm just like, you know what I mean?
But that's why I got into broadcasting. It's
spread love, spread the stories.
Well, no, it's more like, for me, it was more about the people that shift public opinion are usually using this to do it. And they have so much to say and never lived the experience. So how
and then people validate them.
And that's the problem.
I have an issue with that.
Same. That's the problem. It's like, well, how do you know about like this? Like, for example, you coming out of the draft, there's people who were talking about your game that couldn't lace up your shoes.
Yeah. And now it's worse than ever.
And
they have a voice.
And a big platform.
And
people validate their opinion. And it's just that, an opinion, but you've never lived it.
Yeah.
Right? I know this may not be the same example, but if I cut an artery, right? Or if I watch a doctor cut an artery, do I know what it feels like to do it?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Do I know the pressure that needs to be applied? And I'm sure okay, first
of all,
that's
how I look at the
basketball.
Training.
Exactly,
Yeah,
it's the same thing to me.
You know
Unless I'm jabbing right and left, and I know for a fact you wouldn't cut an artery. It's a bad example, but you understand
but
what
I get
mean.
It completely.
Like, until you know what it's like to look at someone's feet and know the angle in which I need to jab to get you to move out of the place, and then know when to attack so that you have no chance of recovering, right? Or move your hips out of place so that I know I can blow right by you. Unless you've done those things, I don't think you should be speaking about it.
I agree.
Because
and then you're doing it with a cone. Come on, dude.
Exactly.
You're doing it with a cone.
Exactly. And we can go on and on.
And we're hitting with a pad. Like, I mean, and now throw 20,000 in there. Throw some bottles of piss at you, see how it really goes. They used to light the coins and when we played.
And throw them at you.
Yeah,
man, I mean? For sure.
So it's wild.
Looking back, what was the first moment you realized your basketball career would eventually shift into a new chapter? How did you mentally prepare for that change?
I think it hit me, it was along the way teachers went on strike. Yeah. So it was like segments. Teachers went on strike, undrafted.
Yeah.
Injuries we didn't really get into. I think they were the main focuses, and I think dealing with earlier stress and trauma, each one became easier to navigate and understand.
You said 11 surgeries too. Where'd you have surgery? Ankles.
2 ankles.
Yeah.
1.5, we'll say on this one. Tore my tricep.
Shit.
Yeah, this was a bad one. Like I came off leading the ACB in scoring.
Yeah,
and
that's your shooting arm too.
I did this with Team Canada.
Oh.
I turned down 62 contracts, millions, to show people I wasn't hurt. So like we did up a clause, like we did up my agents for like, no, he's not going there. And then like he called me and be like, he said, it's a Russian team, like Cheska or something coming. Yeah. He's like, you can't tell them it's not enough money. They will pay you.
Whatever.
You know what I mean? Like multi.
Yeah.
And it was like, you just got to tell them you're not going to go to Russia with your family. So like we had this whole clause so I could recover, right? So people would know that I was hurt.
Oh.
Yeah, so this one, and I did my AC collicular. I did my wrist. So the fact that I can still shoot with wrist,
elbow,
shoulder on the right side.
God damn.
It's mine. So back was the worst one. Yeah, I came back from these ones and went into practice, and I was trying to get ready for the game, went a leg extra hard, dunked on a guy. When I landed, I compressed my spine, I herniated my disc, and then that shut down my left leg. Like bad, like I couldn't do 5 pounds. Calf was okay, but this leg's smaller, couldn't do 5 pounds. So that was like, all that was in the window of 6-8 months. That was tough. And that was coming off leading to ACB in scoring. When that was anybody that led the ACB in scoring, multi-million-dollar or NBA in the last 10 years.
Easy.
Yeah, easy. So that was bad timing.
What was the hardest identity shift you had to make during your transition, and how did you work through it?
I think just knowing that I didn't make the league and trying to figure out Europe, right? Figuring out the food, the language barrier, just being in Europe, again, like understanding that it was, okay, well, I'm here now and I got to focus on this because I can make a real good living here. Yeah. So I think that was the biggest shock.
What parts of your athlete skill set translate most naturally into your post-career? And did you have to relearn anything from scratch?
I would say my confidence and just people. I find people skills, understanding and playing on teams where no one speaks English, and learning to work with a team. I think that were my biggest skills I learned through basketball. Like I can walk into any boardroom, I can walk in anywhere now and understand people. Right? So like I said to you initially, like I don't see color, I don't judge, I don't have this vision of what a person should be like. I give you, my brother has a bar, used to have bars, and he said the guy in the suit might have 2 nickels to rub together, the guy in the rubber boots might be a multi-millionaire crab fisherman. So he said, you don't ever judge a book by its cover.
Many athletes struggle with figuring out their next move without structure of a team, without any sort of routine or habits. What routines or habits helped you build or rebuild a sense of purpose and momentum earlier, like in your transition stage?
I think working with people and being part of a team and sacrifice. I think if you're willing to do those things, you can fit in anywhere and you can make anything work. It's never always about I. It's about we and us and how we can do that. And in order for that to happen, everybody in that group or everybody in that team or everybody in that company has to sacrifice for the greater good of what's going on, of the common goal. And I think if you figure that out, you'll be okay.
Did you this is off the top, but do you ever feel like you hear all the stories about athletes going broke? Like, you obviously didn't trust your agent in the beginning. How did you develop trust to deal with that aspect where you can set yourself up
financially?
Exactly.
A lot of that was trial and error.
So you made some mistakes along the way.
Yeah, but I always think like I'm poor. You know what I mean? So I always had the 80-20 rule. I'll spend 20 and
keep 80.
Keep 80%. So then like you're always set up, because if you don't how important is it if you didn't ever have it and you're fine and then you get some money, now I got to have all these things that you really need it. It comes with wants and needs. The flash is great. Yeah. But like both of us are here in sweats. I'm sure the closet got lots. It does. You know what I mean? So it's just what you're comfortable in and what you're at. So a lot of times the flash is based on insecurities or different things, right?
I didn't make millions. I
hear you, but you're doing well.
I'm doing okay.
So it's like there's things that wants and needs. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like as you get older, that goes into perspective.
If you could offer one piece of advice to athletes who are still playing, but no retirement is coming, what should they start doing to like get themselves ready for that actual transition?
Plan ahead. Like you hear good stories now of guys investing early, putting money away. You have, as an athlete, you have a lot of dead time, right?
We hear that a lot.
So like you go, even if you're doing 2-a-days, which we did in Europe, you're still literally only in the gym 4 hours a day, right? And every day is not a 2-a-day. So with all that downtime, what are you doing? Are you binge watching Netflix?
That's what I did.
You know what I mean? Or are you learning? You know, so that you can take that time. You don't got to do it the whole day, but learn a new skill.
Okay, so if I was to go back and talk to Carl at 24, would you have wanted to go and learn something else, or would you just been like, I'm tired?
No, I was learning. My thing is, I was always learning. Like I was always studying what was around me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I have playbooks from Gran Canaria. You know, so if I ever coach, like pages, right? So I always immerse myself in the game. Like I knew the market. Like as an athlete, and they're just say they're in the league or they're overseas, they should study their environment to know, okay, when free agency hits, well, where am I? What did my competition get? Who is my competition? What are the teams? What are the cities? Right. So if you're over in Europe and you're in a lower league, okay, well, what's your goal? Where are you trying to get to?
Right.
Okay, so who's there? Who's comparable to you? Who's his agent? What's he doing? So I knew the market inside and out. So when he came to me, I was like, no, it should be this much. It should be this. It should be, you know what I mean? So I was always studying and learning what was around. I understood. I had a vision of I wanted to build something when I was done of, you know, sports complex. So I was always intrigued by the designs and things when we see and where we go. So I think if you plan ahead, like you got a lot of dead time, man. It's a lot of dead time.
Yeah, I agree. You mentioned plan versus the dream team. So contemplating Euro versus the NBA. During all of those highs, where was life after sport in your mind? And, you know, what would you tell your younger self now?
Younger self now. Enjoy the ride. You know, I felt through most of my career, right up to, I was always next.
Oh,
what's
same.
the next?
I can relate to that so much.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was never where my feet were. My dad always used to tell me that.
That's the issue. Always be where your feet are
always,
is a great one. I found I was, even though I was in the ACB, okay, well, I wanted, like, let's get to the EuroLeague. Then I got to the EuroLeague, well, let's play on the championship team. You know what I mean? And then, okay, well, now let's go to him. Like, it was always next. Now, that also kept me motivated and kept me going and kept me pushing. The thing people don't understand about overseas, everybody's coming to knock you off. Everybody.
Your own teammates.
Right?
Yeah, everybody.
Like, I never told you about Jane and Finch when I dunked on Bird.
No.
Yeah. So
who's Bird?
Bird Ferguson.
Ah, okay. Don't know who
you don't
that
know
is.
Bird?
No.
All right, ask around.
Okay.
7-footer.
All right.
So we're at Jane and Finch. They take me to Jane and Finch.
The Jane and Finch Classic?
No, we just went there for an exhibition game.
Okay.
I'm the only white guy.
Of course.
My own teammates are talking shit to me.
Of course.
Can you hang, Ghost? I'm Ghost. Can you hang? Right? So I'm like,
all right, Casper.
I'm scared shitless.
Of course.
I'm not like, I'm just fresh out of Newfoundland. Wayne and them take me there. Like, don't speak to nobody, blah, blah, blah. Just go hoop. Right? So I'm there. They're talking, like, my own teammates are talking shit to me, man. I'm like, where am I? So 2 or 3 plays down, I get the ball in the wing. I do a rocker step. I come down the middle, and I shit on Bird. Right? 7-footer. Put him in the basket. The whole place went up, throwing chairs. I ran under the table. Swear. True story. No shame in my game. I was scared shitless. Metal detectors. Like, this is first for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So coming from 200 people to
that. So I think adjusting to your environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's so much stuff that goes on. You know what I mean? And just understanding and navigating with it. But I think similar to what you said, feet on the ground is important.
Man, you got to be where your feet are. My dad always told me that.
And
I never was. Like, when
She always want more.
Of course. Well,
you know what I mean?
That's the thing.
And,
right?
and as human nature, you don't want to settle.
No.
Right? And the people that settle, you get complacent. And
That's
you
right.
can't let complacency set in.
Are you complacent now?
No.
Me either.
Yeah, kind of.
Really?
No. I don't know what I want. You know what I mean? Like,
honest.
I'm kind of at that, like again, I think I could coach.
Right.
I think I'd be a real good coach.
Right.
I don't know if they'd handle my type of coaching in this level and this age. I know I'd win. I know I'd recruit well because I can talk to people and I understand and I have pathways for them to go.
Right.
I don't know if they'd handle the intensity that I bring at that level, right? Like, that's a different level. Because I didn't have, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. So that would be the tough part. I think I could do that. I like training people. I do. I just don't know.
I'm sure you'll figure it out, man.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I'm sure. Even though I hate that term, figure it out. But
no, it's day by day. I'm more focused right now on my family, to be honest with you, right? Because they sacrificed a lot for me. Watch. Tell them to come in.
Is your son?
No, it's a couple of the boys.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. They wanted. They were. Come on in. You want to come in? Fuck, he's sticking at the door. This is my son. This one. This is Ryder.
What's up, man? Warren.
This is Brody.
Nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you. How you doing?
We're almost finished up. Hold on.
Yeah.
Why you?
It just goes to show you could be at the highest levels, producing at the best, and still necessarily not make it.
Yeah.
What are you telling your son or players on the team now to prepare for life after sport?
I think the big thing is understanding that there's more to life than basketball.
Right.
Right. So you have to have a plan. Like the schooling and the things are important. The people you meet are important. The way you treat people are important, and who you are as a person is important.
Right.
Right. So it's not all just basketball, because the amount of people that I've met.
Yeah.
And that I've been around, and like just even being here today is all through networking through basketball.
Of course.
Now, if I was an arrogant asshole,
right,
people are not going to want to deal with you. Close the door, brother. People are not going to want to deal with you.
Right.
So, and I think that's life. What does it say? You get more luck with honey than you do
with vinegar.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right, man.
So it's like, it's just like, I try to teach, like, respect people. There's a right way and a wrong way to do things. Give everything you got, and even if you fail, you'll still be okay with yourself.
Yeah.
You don't want to fail and know I did half-ass. You don't, because then you have regrets, and you don't ever want to have regrets. It's okay to fail,
right.
100%, but fail the right way.
If there's one message that you want to transfer to young athletes, Carl, what would it be?
Dream larger than life, because they're your dreams, and don't let anybody tell you you can't. But you can't just dream and not put the work in.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Right now, everybody wants to play in the NBA, but are you doing what it takes?
Right.
Are you doing the early mornings? Are you watching what you're eating? You can't. They always say 3 things. School, obviously, you need, right?
Of course.
Now hooping, and then friends. There's not enough time for all 3.
Right.
Right? So you got to sacrifice. So what's it going to be?
What's it going to be?
You know what I mean? So, like, there's lots of guys out there that don't make it, and you'll have regrets because you didn't do what it takes.
Right.
Right? And then a lot of times they're in the gym, but you're not doing the right things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, are you just in there bullshitting? Or are you really working? You know what I mean? Are you lifting? Are you taking care of your body? Are you doing the things that really, because there's someone out there doing it, and they're going to be ahead of you. And there's so much competition now, and it's getting worse, right? So it's even getting more competition now because all the Europeans now are coming, and now all the pros are coming to the States to get those scholarships.
That's right.
So if it's even harder now for high school kids.
Generational money in the NBA. So the competition.
Right. So like all that's changing. So I think determination, perseverance, obviously is cliche.
Yeah.
But you have to believe in yourself when no one else does. And if you don't have that confidence, how do you expect everybody else to have that belief in you?
Facts. Yeah.
Right.
To conclude, we'll play a little game. It's called For 3. We could talk for days.
I talk hoops all day, man. I just always been that way, man.
I love it.
I love the hoop side of it.
Describe your journey in one word.
Failure.
What a cliche.
Yeah, because it made me, right? So like, I failed, but then I got up, right? I could have quit 50 times over.
Yeah, multiple times.
Multiple times. So it's not failure in the sense of people might listen like, oh, he didn't, it's not, no, failure made me.
Successful.
Right?
Right.
And you look at a lot of successful people, a lot of times it's
they fail fast.
True failure, and you learn how to persevere.
If you could, in basketball, you learn to perform under pressure. What's a new form of pressure you've had to master?
Parenting.
With no other example of that or guidance, right? So you have to figure it out.
I got to figure it out. Like I can't go on my past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With that, I mean, my aunt and uncle raised me. I take bits and pieces of that. I take stuff from other father figures in my life, from coaches and different things like that. It's changing. No kid is the same. Your kid is not you. Right? You can't live vicariously through your kid. It's their pad. And then you have to relish and enjoy the moments and pick your battles. Pick your battles.
That's good parenting advice.
Yeah, you got to pick your battles, man.
If everything that you lived could teach your son one thing, what would it be?
Determination. Just on the fact that you have to have your goals, and determination in the fact you got to take the hits, take the losses, take the sacrifices, be willing to do what it takes when shit is going wrong.
Right.
It's easy to be great, man, when things are good.
I know, right?
You know those guys that are such a good teammate when making shots. You know what I mean? True colors come on. What do you like when you're struggling?
When you're shit, yeah.
You know what I mean? What do you like when you're not playing? What do you like when you're on the end of the bench?
Right.
What do you like when you're 2 for 10? You know what I mean? That's when you're true colors. So it's your character. So be determined enough to understand that all of those things make your story. Yeah. All those things make you who you are. And just keep going, man. You got to keep going.
No, that's good, man. And again, I really want to say thanks. You know, you taking time out of your day. It's been a pleasure texting and getting to know you a bit. Yeah. But I saw you follow the pod, and I was like, man, I gotta sit down with you. I remember, growing up, and like we talk about influences, like seeing people who did make it, make it to the levels I aspired to. The NBA when I was growing up was so like out of reach. I never thought about that. I just wanted to go overseas, and I remember hearing your name, and I remember watching you, and I remember seeing you play, and that inspired me.
I appreciate that, man.
I know you talked about making it, and you said, you hope so, but for someone like myself, this has been a pleasure. There's a lot of stories here that I didn't know of, and you really are a cold white boy, man.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate
really cool,
it, man.
I
appreciate you guys having me on, and I got to watch a bunch of your stuff. I mean, keep doing what you're doing, man. It's there's not a lot of good ones out there, but this is a real one, and I think they're the ones that will last. So
Thank you.
Keep doing your thing, man.
We will, man.
Appreciate you.
No doubt.
Awesome.
Hey, if you like this podcast, I'm sure you're going to like the other episodes. Please check them out. Again, the best way to support this podcast, which costs you nothing to do, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, share with a friend. Until next time.